he took me out of Torrance, and it took a few times. I remember I was crying at one point, just getting tossed in the shore break. Finally, I stood up for like a second and rode it onto the beach, and I didn't know it then, but that one moment, that 1 second ride at Torrance Beach would really determine the rest of my life. And that's how surfing was introduced into my life. Born and raised in Palos Verdes. Skateboarding came around. That was like the first board sport that we did.
Yeah.
But then my brother went to junior lifeguards at Torrance, and they taught him how to surf the first day. Both of my parents never surfed, but he came home just freaking out. I'm a surfer, and we're like, I didn't even know what that was. I was like 9 years old going, cool. But I was following everything that he did, so I looked at my dad and I'm like, I want to be a surfer. By 12 years old, had 5 major sponsors and was just doing contests up and down the California coast. And then it moved into international contests, and now it's 21 years later and I'm still in a professional surf career. I think Peninsula is a very tough school. Like, they put on serious education, and it really forced me to learn and educate myself. I talk to other people and they're like, oh, high school is easy, and I'm like, what? Our school is so hard. So many of my friends are like, oh, college is so much easier than Peninsula was. And that's great. You know, I think Peninsula takes its education seriously. It takes its athletic department seriously, and now looking back, I got very lucky to be immersed in something like that.
Yeah.
Because being a professional athlete, sure, your ability is what I guess defines you when you're competing, but more so to be an ambassador of a brand or be sponsored, people want you to be able to speak in front of a camera, be able to socialize, be able to, you know, hold yourself in a professional aspect on land as well as in the water. And my Peninsula High School education, it really separated me from a lot of my peers because I knew how to give an educated interview, you know, or how to sit down and manage, you know, a multi-million-dollar brand who's sitting down giving me a contract, and I didn't have managers. I sat with them and I could put my big boy pants on because I felt like I had all the tools to do that. But I think it's great that Peninsula offers so many opportunities, whether you're an athlete, a scholar, somewhere in between. I feel like they have something for everybody there. Favorite part about high school would be the surf team for me. I always looked forward to every morning going down to Torrance Beach and surfing before class. I think for all surfers, it's nice to get in the water before you have to go and put your face in the books. Surfing would always allow me to let my worries and problems go. And I was also starting my professional surf career during the time, so it was really my playing field as well as a sport.
Is there a message you would like to give to Peninsula kids?
You know, I can remember being in high school and being a part of just your little clique of friends or whatever. It's like, God, I guess if I'd go back, I would have met more people and, you know, been a part of everything that's there. You can read as many books as you'd like, talk to as many people as you like, but just remember that we all have the self-confidence to do anything that we want, and ultimately the answers lie within us. And I don't think there's any greater trait than people who really allow themselves to have the confidence to be the best that they can be. And I always want to just high-five any individual out there going after what everybody isn't doing. You know, there was this crazy moment when I had a teacher pull me out after school because they knew just as I did, you know, how much I was leaving. And she was like, you know, you should really think about changing your sport. I looked at her and I'm like, what? She's like, well, you know, the surfing, she's like, there's no future in surfing. Like, what about like football or baseball? And I'm like, what? And I walked away so bummed, like it literally shattered me. I'm like, oh my God, you know, these teachers who I'm trying to please and get good grades with, like, she just told me to don't do this. And I had this feeling of proving her wrong come over me. And I've always enjoyed that when you like really love something, because no matter what in life, there's always going to be people who tell you you're doing it wrong, or we call them haters now, right?
Yeah.
I ended up graduating high school and getting Athlete of the Year with a baseball and football player. So it was the coolest full circle of proving somebody wrong.
It's amazing.
I loved it. It was fantastic. And you know, my name still sits in the Peninsula Gym as Athlete of the Year 2004. They were two of my friends too. And I have that. I don't have much in my house, but I have that frame on my wall.
What is your favorite part about surfing?
Ooh, my favorite part about surfing. I think my favorite part about surfing is that it is non-judgmental and for everyone. And especially the act when you're actually riding a wave, it's a sense of freedom. A lot of people call it an art because it is up to you at that point on how you want to interpret your ride. And nobody can tell you how to do it. It's yours. Why do I love surfing? Because I just want to do it still all day, every day. I started surfing when I was 9. I'm 32 now, and it still rules my life. Like I need to surf every freaking day. And I just feel so lucky to have found my dream at 10 years old, which I would like to do till the day I die. And I still am sitting here trying to be creative on how do I keep making this my life. And as life moves forward, it'll change, but I just know that I'm gonna be a surfer the rest of my life. And that's like the coolest, most comforting feeling in the world. I love that. There's a lot of pride involved. Like, yeah, I want to be 70 and surfing. That'd be awesome.
Are you working on a project right now, and can you tell us about it?
I have two cool things going on. So I started a surf therapy. My brother unfortunately passed away from a drug overdose when I was a senior at Peninsula. He went to Peninsula as well. And just was so hard on the family, and it's still a tough aspect of my life, but surfing is the gift that he gave me, and I've used surfing so much during my grief with his passing that now I created I call it A-Grace Surf Therapy, and we meet once a month, and it's for anybody grieving over the loss of a loved one. Surfing is not mandatory, but it's available. There's always beginner equipment there, and there's been, I think, at least one, if not 3 people to ride their first wave ever during our little gatherings. And then we just sit down and talk, and I didn't go to therapy over it. I tried to. I sat in a room with a stranger, the therapist, and it just wasn't for me. So when I made this decision, I thought, wow, there might be other people out there that being outside, having that healthy sport of surfing or just being at the beach might be an easier place for people to talk about a hard aspect of their life. So it's been a really fun way, because you mentioned giving back, and I think what's most important for anybody that's loves something like I do with surfing is, well, how do I make it not be all about me? And this is a way to give back, and it makes me feel good to pass on what I love so much about the sport, and then ultimately be able to help someone. And then I just started guiding surf trips. So I have a trip to El Salvador in June, and I'm trying to get all the Peninsula or PV High kids and go down and bring my professional filmer and film everybody and do video reviews and have fun and just try to help people better their surfing. So I'm excited to do that because it's really fun to work with high school kids who I remember being, at that age and whatever. And I think, I'm just at a point now of like, how can I take everything that I've learned? How can I help others not make the mistakes that I did? And how can I use everything that I've done to better others' lives? And so both of those are really fun new aspects that I'm working on.